Hello, this is J.King, self-made millionaire, coming to you from MillionairePennyStocks.com, where we're teaching and training our students how to become self-sufficient in the stock market. And today I'd like to just talk to you about the beginning of trading. Many of you are asking, what do I need to do to get started? Well, I'm going to give you some good wisdom and good information, and hopefully you take heed to it. The reason why I say that is because I have several students, when I tell them to, paper trade, they look at me like a cow at a new gate, and they're like, okay, we'll go paper trade. But I'm telling you, one thing that would change your life is when you start off paper trading. This is one of the number one things that you need to do when you're first getting started. I get this same thing every time people want to learn about the stock market. What do you do to get started? How did you become a self-made millionaire in the stock market? Well, that's a long story. But remember, becoming a millionaire in the stock market it takes skill. You don't just do it overnight, and you don't listen to a couple of videos and all of a sudden someone hypes you up to go make a whole bunch of money and you're signing up for this program that costs $500 or $1,000. Guys, you don't have to go to school to learn how to trade. I'm a self-made millionaire. I've been trading for over 17 years. And you know what? In the beginning, I did not trade with skill. I did not trade with discipline. I got out there and I got very lucky. I mean, in the early 2000s, you could have made a lot of money in the stock market. You could have been 5 years old and made money because you could just buy random stocks and earnings winners and things like that. Those things were just going up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, $8 a share. And what I learned about where I was making a mistake in the beginning is I was trading with luck. And luck has no substance that's attached to it. So I wasn't trading with skill and with education. And what eventually happens is if you approach financial literacy with luck, then eventually you're going to sink because that's not the right foundation. Anytime you're focusing on financial literacy, number one, you need to get results in your own life. Find other people around you that's getting results. And then also what you do is you attract success through education. That's what's really important. A lot of times when people want to get started in the stock market, the first thing they ask is, how much money do I need? Well, you don't need any money because you haven't educated yourself. You're going to basically attract fear, intimidation, and ignorance if you use money in the stock market in the beginning. Remember, what you need in the beginning of trading is education. Education attracts success. Remember, success is not something that you pursue through money or anxiety, but it's attracted by the person we become. How do we tap into a higher version of ourselves? Well, we tap into a higher version of ourselves through education. Education on any given subject, the right education, will actually condense the amount of time that it takes you to become successful in the 21st century. Many people don't experience success because they don't tap into a higher version or higher consciousness of who they are. And so what I mean by that is one of the things that helped me tap into a higher version of myself is I got mentorship. In the beginning, I was too arrogant to be coached, to be trained. As it relates to money, many people have this mindset that they know it all. Well, let me ask you a question. If you know so much about the stock market, then go put 100 grand into the market or 50 grand and turn it into 2 to 3 million. And once you do that, then come back and let me know how the trip was. And the reason why I say that is there's a lot of people that think money can reproduce itself after its own kind. And when they take that trip and they start to see they can put 30 or 40 grand into the market, and all of a sudden they end up with 5 or 10,000 because they lost all that money. That's just because money doesn't reproduce itself after its own kind. Money needs a mind. Money needs to be taught. In other words, money is a slave. It's only as good as the master behind it. And I've dealt with people that have a lot of money. And people that have a lot of money, sometimes as it relates to trading that are new, they're the hardest people to basically train because a lot of them are trust fund babies. And they may have a 1 or 2 million or have access to $500,000. And, when they have all that money, they just think because they have a lot of money that they're going to be successful. Well, I prefer training people that are coachable or teachable. It doesn't matter if you have little money or a lot of money, but my point is a lot of students that I have now, my top student, Charles, he started off with $5,000. I believe it was about $5,000. And now he's trading with over 6 figures in his account in less than, I think, 3 years. And so he got the education that he needed. He's based in California, and he got the education that he needed to go to the next level. So remember, the reason I'm making this video today is we started our paper trading contest today. I've done several contests. This is another one that I'm doing. If you go to howthemarketworks.com, you can enter into the contest. Once you register with how much you ever please, 50,000, 100,000, $500,000 or $1 million. And I prefer you to register with 50,000 because all of us are registering with 50,000. Once you register, click on contest and find our contest and click on Coach J.King, or you can enter Coach J.King into the search bar after you click on contest, and come and visit us. And remember, this is the first step to becoming successful in trading is mentorship, getting good coaching, good mentorship, and learning to paper trade. That's very important. I don't know how many times I can stress a paper trade gives you the right image that you need to become successful. One of the things that I've learned as a coach, I've been coaching for probably about 5 years in the stock market. I've been trading for over 17 years. And I have a passion to coach people as it relates to trading, because I see students all the time. They come in, they make $400, $500, $600 in one day, and they get really excited. They make 150. This is how you become successful. But the key is when you start out paper trading, your image is going to change on how to make money, because you're going to realize that paper trading requires less of your time. It's not something that you have to do full time. You can make $500 or $1,000 in 15 minutes. Sometimes it may take though 3 or 4 hours to sit by a trade. You know, maybe you have a good entry and that trade is going in your favor. You may have to sit around for 2-3 hours to just watch the trade, because you want to maximize your profit on that particular trade and get as much profit that you can out of it. And then other times, you know, you have to enter in and exit out of trades that don't work out for you. And the reason being is one of the most important things about trading is learning to manage your risk. And so we'll be talking about a lot of that. But today, primarily, I want to show you the importance of paper trading. Paper trading is a system that we use to give you a good image, to give you the right image, to basically develop the right foundation that you need in your life to become successful as a trader. So remember, howthemarketworks.com is a successful site that is known for paper trading. Many people subscribe to this website, and I'm telling you guys, if you want to go to the next level in the market, don't think you're too good to paper trade. What happens a lot of times is people make, you know, 1, 2, 3 grand in the stock market and they stop paper trading. Listen, I have 7 accounts. I have several brokerage accounts. One of my brokerage accounts is an IRA account. It's a retirement account. I have $975,000. I used to trade with $1.4 million in my brokerage account, but I split it up and allocated the money in different investments. And now I only trade with my brokerage account. That's an IRA. I only trade with $975,000, but I don't trade on that account all the time. Primarily, the accounts that I use to trade with, I have trading accounts for my kids, for my wife, but primarily I use my account that only has $30,000 and $100,000. Every month, I take the profit out of that account and I start over with $30,000 and $100,000. Those are the 2 accounts that I primarily use, because what I was doing is when I went to the next level trading, I had too much money in a lot of my brokerage accounts. The only reason I have that $975,000 in my retirement is because that's tax deferred as long as I don't use that particular money. So what I do is just place trades. And a lot of times when I'm trading on that account, I have a system that I go by. I have goals that I go by, and I only make certain trades. I only trade 3 to 5 times, usually per month, on my high net worth IRA account. And we'll get off into some of that. That's for when you make over $250,000 to $500,000 and you start trading full time. You need to know how to allocate this particular money that you're trading with. But for students that are trading with $30,000, $100,000, or $5,000, or $10,000, the key to growing an account is placing small trades over and over again. See, the smaller your trades are, it's easier to minimize your risk. If I go into a trade with 400 shares at $1, if that trade doesn't go my way, I already have an exit strategy in my mind. If I go in at $1 and it doesn't go my way, I'm probably going to get out at 95 cents. I'm going to keep my risk minimized. But if it goes up to 140 or 150, then I can maximize my profit and make $150 to $200 versus minimizing my risk to a $25 loss. And this is the strategy that I use over and over again on every trade. I usually wait for trades to consolidate. I wait for the market to slow down, and then I get good entry points into my trades. Many people that trade, they chase stock. When you chase a stock, a lot of times in the morning is the best time to enter into stocks that break out. But some of those stocks, you have to give them time to maybe consolidate, to slow down, so you can have a better entry point. And a lot of times people find themselves chasing stocks instead of trading with discipline and with education. So this is J.King. Again, I'm a self-made millionaire, and I'm passionate, man, about teaching and training students how to go to the next level in the stock market. Remember, I want you to visit howthemarketworks.com. One of the most important trades that you can ever make is education. Focus more on your education. And again, you can go to millionairepenny.stocks.com and you can click on services. This is the service that I offer at millionairepenny.stocks.com. We have a free account, basic account, a newbie account if you're a beginner and you want to get in for $19.99 a month. This is worth it. I'm telling you, invest in your education, because today, you see the trades that I made today. Twitter was one of the trades that I made, and you can see on my order history. Our paid subscribers received this information, and I shorted 859 shares at $14.54 and covered at $14.43, and so that was about an $80 or $90 profit. Today we bought 2,750 shares of TVIX. This is a stock that I play quite frequently, and there are stocks that I know that I look at all the time. So I'm looking at these stocks, I'm looking at the trends, the patterns, and I know when to enter in. And so many of you saw my entry point on this. We now have 2,750 shares of TVIX. You don't see Twitter in my portfolio because we've already executed that trade, but I'm still holding on to TVIX, and we see the market, I think it closed at 303, and it's up pre-market at 308, 309. So we made a good entry point. These are my first two trades. You can see my account already. The value of it is $50,319. And so tomorrow we look to sell TVIX. If you look at TVIX, look at the historical chart. You can look at the graphs, but sometimes I look at the charts and look at the numbers. And notice that the day highs, it just simply means these are called the resistance levels, and these are the support levels, day low. And I don't have time to go into the support levels and resistance levels, but looking at this technical analysis chart, I believe this stock will visit 310, 315, 320 again. And so this is why we got a discounted price at $295. I've learned in the market to recognize when to buy at wholesale. Many traders that are inexperienced buy at retail, but many experienced traders buy at wholesale. Now, if you're looking at a level 2 chart, you can recognize when traders are entering the orders in that are inexperienced. And I don't have time to go into detail on that, but it's just like going to Walmart. If you go to Walmart and you saw a whole bunch of people buying PlayStations for $1,000, you would think they were crazy. Well, I wouldn't buy this at $350 or $340 because that's considered the levels of resistance. So this was a good wholesale price. It's just like going to Walmart. Instead of paying $1,000 for a PlayStation, you figure out through trends, through patterns, through support levels and resistance levels, you figure out what your best entry point would be, so you could pay for that PlayStation at $100 or $200. I would rather buy a PlayStation at $100 or $200 than to pay $500, $600, $700, $800 for it. And so these type of trades are different because these particular stocks, they don't have they're not earnings winners, but a lot of times when you learn to read charts, you can look for stocks that are obvious and they have obvious patterns. Some of these stocks can be played 50 to 100 times a year because you get familiar with the patterns. And so again, stay tuned for tomorrow. This is May the 23rd, and we bought 2,750 shares of TVIX, and basically I'm just playing the price action on that. Looking at the lowest key levels of resistance and the lowest levels of support. And the lowest level of support today we can see on this particular chart. Look at TVIX. Let me show you something. When you look at TVIX, the lowest level of support was 294. So we bought at the perfect range. Now look, if I could get in and get a good entry point with paper trading, you know I can do it with a real account, because anybody that paper trades, you understand that 5 to 10 minute delay sometimes can throw you off as it relates to the market. So look at this. We got a perfect entry right at the lowest level of support, 294, 295. We got in at 295. And so look at the volume. The volume is great. There's a lot of activity. We see that the stock is open. Look at this. Doing extended hours, that is after hours. If I had a real account, I could sell at 305, 304, and make about $300 or $400. But we're going to try to play it, be a little bit more patient to see if this can gap up. And also on the Twitter trade, we had a good entry at 14.54, and so now I believe the Twitter entry, let's see what Twitter is at now. I think Twitter is probably like 14.41, so it's starting to drop. And we played the short on this. When you short stock, you're betting against it, you're going to benefit from the decline. And so those were the two trades that were made May 23rd. My psychology behind TVIX again was to look for obvious patterns, and we can see that TVIX normally it finds its resistance levels at 340, 350. And this stock, when it goes down to 290, 295 lately, it's always gapped back up to 315, 320. And so this was a great execution, a great dip buy. And again, remember, open up a paper trading account so you can basically start developing your skills. That's what's so important. I cannot talk to you about patterns. I can't talk to you about risk reward ratio, managing your risk until you open up a paper trading account. This is really important. One of the most important things about trading, we said, is education. But another important thing about trading is managing your risk. And that's one of the things that I really want to talk to you about. I feel that that's the most important thing for trading. A lot of traders to get exposed to emotional hype, and people telling them they can make a lot of money, which is true. But when you're trading, you have to have a managerial strategy. You have to have a risk strategy that you use so you can keep your losses minimized. And that's kind of what I want to teach you, because you're going to grow a small account by taking small trades. It's not about eating the whole elephant. An elephant is pretty big. So if you're going to eat it, you're going to have to cut that joker up. You know what I'm saying? So you got to cut it up piece by piece by piece. So think about it. If you make $90 on 20 trades, that's $1,800. And the commission is only, $10? And so that's $180 for commissions, $1,800 for profit minus the 180 commission. So you're doing good. And so that's kind of what I want to teach you, how to take that strategic approach to where you're taking small trades, you're making small trades, and then if those trades don't work out for you, you minimize your risk. And then if they work out for you, you ride it out and you maximize all your profit while you're watching the stock. Sometimes, again, you may have to watch the stock for, an hour, 2 hours. And there are other times you'll get a good entry and you may only have to watch that stock for 10 or 15 minutes. Now, let me say this: when you buy less shares, you're gonna have to be more patient. Sometimes I'll buy 2,000 or 3,000 shares, the stock will go up 14 cents, and I'm out of there. I mean, I'll make my $200, $300, $400. But if you only buy 200 or 300 shares, you're going to have to be more patient in maximizing your profit. And so you may have to wait a little bit for the stock to begin to uptrend. And when you're buying 200 or 300 shares, you're going to have to know what type of stocks to buy. And so this is where the education comes in at. But remember, one of the first things I want you to do is take action. Take action as it relates to trading. Thank you so much. Again, this is the beginning of trading. You may ask, what do I need to do to get started? The first thing you need to do is go to howthemarketworks.com and open up a paper trading account. Click on contest after you register and enter into Coach J.King's contest. I would like to train you. I would like to mentor you in the stock market. I want to show you how to make $100, $200, $300 in one day. It is very easy. It's not complicated. It's not hard. I would love to elevate your consciousness. I would love to elevate your mind as it relates to the stock market. There's a higher version of thinking in the stock market. What attracts money is your brain, your mind, how you think, your psychology. Many people think that because they have a lot of money that they're going to be successful, but money does not permit you to be successful. Your psychology won't permit you to be successful until you change your psychology. And that's what I had to learn. What attracts success, what attracts money is your psychology. Your psychology is like a magnet attracting metal. However you think or what you focus on is what you're going to attract and what's going to become your reality. So I'm here to show you keys and disciplines of the stock market so you can first practice it through paper trading. And if I'm a false teacher and I'm not, really getting results and I don't have students getting results, then I shouldn't be teaching you and training you. But I'm going to tell you, a lot of my students are getting wonderful results. I have a pastor friend, Steve. He's probably up about $4,000 or $5,000 in profit in less than 3 months. So he's working really hard. He's listening to the lessons. He's training. And so congrats to Pastor Steve. Congrats to another real estate guru, David, that I'm training. And these guys are doing really well. So I'm really excited. I have several students that are learning. Many of them started off paper trading. And now, they still paper trade, but they're trading real. They're trading live. And so I'm just excited. Again, this is J.King, Self-Made Millionaire, coming to you from MillionairePennyStocks.com. Be sure to visit us at MillionairePennyStocks.com. You can sign up, and we'll be on our way to experiencing greatness as it relates to trading. Have a great day.